Hi, my name is Kelly, and here's my intercultural communication speech that I'm presenting to my coworkers.
Hi, I'm
Hi.
Kenzie Allen.
I'm Jennifer Braymeyer. Katie Odell.
They are ever so kindly going to listen to my speech. Okay. So, have you ever had a busy day that every moment feels mapped out to the exact minute? Appointments to attend, dinner plans to make an appearance at, or your kids' extracurricular activities to participate in? Communication is such an important part of how people operate on a day-to-day basis, but something to consider is how different communication can look throughout various cultures. Intercultural communication is the study of communication between people from different cultures who have different worldviews. An aspect of this communication we can look deeper into is time orientation. Time orientation is based upon how a culture utilizes and communicates about time. I hope if there's one thing that you can gain from this speech, it's understanding what our culture might view as rude or unhealthy when it comes to routine or attendance based on the use of time. Another culture might view completely appropriate or normal. I would farther like to discuss the differences between monochronic and polychronic cultures and how the norms of each are acceptable to that society. Monochronic cultures are very time oriented and they live their lives around the clock. They view time as limited, thus the reason these cultures get frustrated when their time is being tampered with. Cultures like this are more uptight in the sense that when an appointment is missed or arrived late to, it communicates a lack of effort or care. Monochronic cultures are very focused on completing tasks promptly so they can move on to the next event in their schedule. Monochronic values of time have a very positive influence on both relationships with family and with friends. You can value someone else's time and show them that you realize their time is precious by showing up when you say you will, arriving on time or early, and waiting your turn. An example I can use from my life is Saturday morning breakfasts with my closest girlfriends. We all go out of our way to set aside time to catch up on each other's lives and show one another we care, even though our schedules get full. These monochronic values also have a positive impact on my work environment because everyone's so busy. Being structured and setting appointments is helpful to make the most out of the limited time you have in an 8-hour workday. When you can work with so many schedules, it's important to keep a concept of time to map out what your day has in store. For example, I can use from my current work experience is how attending meetings with coworkers communicates that you are serious about your job, you're open to discussion, and that you value your work life. On the other spectrum of time orientation, we have polychronic cultures. Polychronic cultures are multitaskers who don't see time to be so limited, so they aren't using time to fit the most into their day. These cultures have no issues with arriving late or missing appointments or even waiting their turn. These cultures are much more flexible because not everything is so structured or task oriented. Polychronic values have a positive influence on dynamics of family and friendship because their time isn't limited. They can spend more time with those who are important to them and not have to worry about rushing to attend their next appointment. An example I can give for polychronic cultures having a positive influence is a weekend getaway with family. It's much easier to be in tune with what's happening in the moment when you aren't paying all this attention to time and what you need to accomplish next. What else do I want to say about polychronic cultures? You spend this time together like it's the most important thing going on in your life and that it's something that cultures do a lot in the moment. Polychronic values benefit work environment in the instance that they can multitask with several people who are wanting to be helped at once. An example I can give in my work life is working at the reception desk. Instead of helping a client one by one, you need to be able to multitask so they're not waiting a long period of time. And the takeaway I want to say with time orientation is, in comparison to monochronic and polychronic cultures, is that both are on the opposite end of the spectrum. And when the two are combined, there's likely to be various communication errors. Before getting frustrated at other people for not viewing time and planning the same way you're used to, understand that their views on communication may have been learned differently from your own. It's not always the case that someone is being rude when they don't email you back right away or show up to dinner plans 2 hours late. Sometimes that's just the culture they were brought up in. Even though time may affect your daily routine, to them they don't know anything different. So keep an open mind when you are dealing with other cultures, because time isn't always as important as living in the moment. And then that's my speech.